Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Right. Yeah. Sorry, just had a brain fart there. Okay. Welcome, everyone, back to CCS. Today, I will be talking about CCS. I know I've spoken a lot about CCS earlier, but I will be talking about CCS towards combat. Because, well, there are two aspects to CCS. There's the RP aspect, and for those of you who haven't gone through the RP aspect, please look at my previous videos, and I think I would put in another video that really gives a lot of info about it. There are a few other videos. There's one from Boran, I think, that also talks about the basics on CCS. So for those of you who want to know more about it, also do look at those videos to get your own style developed. Now, once you're done looking at those videos, we can come to my videos. That's why you're here. Right, the first thing you need to know about combat is obviously you've gotten your meter set up and everything. So the first thing you need to know is to understand the meter. This is the old meter, 1.0.4. This is what it looked like. Right now we're on the 1.0.5. I'm going to go through the details on the meter just so that you get an idea. These three dots, they are still relevant, and they are replaced with these three dots. So it's pretty much the same. They still work the same. They tell you the status of the CCS and the server and blah 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 blah. That's really technical, complicated stuff. Okay, no one's at the front door. And this here, again, it's still relevant, as you can see. The old meter, the new meter, the red bar is health, red bar is health. Blue bar is stamina, blue bar is stamina. Green bar is experience, and green bar is experience. And over here, this is where they usually put the ratios, how many ratios you have, be it defiance, blood, prayers, souls, I don't know, brains, and whatever else, mana, whatever else it is that's here, it's gonna be. Now the ratio points are here. Now, before I go into the hotkeys, I would go into this. This is where you set your targeting window. Offensive targets, defensive targets, that is done here. Normally you click on this, on the name where you see none. You see none right here. You would probably have to zoom in to see that, but yeah, it's there. There is the none written there, and you click on that to clear it off. And if you have a target, if you want to set your quick targets, you click on this normally, but here you click on here. I think it's written down here. Forgive me for not reading this. Yeah, it's written down. I will close that. For those of you who want to read it, it's right there. Offensive target, defensive target, blah. Now, this is the offensive target. You click here where the mouse is to set it, and this is the defensive target. You click here to set it. What else do I need to put? I hope I'm not burning. Okay, I still got time. And now, these are the quick skills. I'll go into detail on quick skills soon enough. But firstly, RP. RP tools. These are the RP tools. RP tools are now here. Here. As soon as I get it to work. Oh, it's because it's off. Bam. And this is the RP tools. Included in the 1.15, there is now a dice roll. A dice roll. Yeah. I've never used the dice roll, but yeah. You could use the dice roll for RP combat, but again, it's pretty much up to you. It's not bad. You can also set your RP name over here. Pretty much the same with this. Now I would switch off my meter so that I am not called for camping, because that is a very bad offense. Forgive my voice. Now, time to go into the meter. The meat of the meter. Right. To start off with, this is here. You click on this to set your profile. This is your profile. Click on it to know your profile. That is this button right here. And this is to toggle your away status, to switch off your meter on or off and go from combative to non-combative. Again, it's very important to switch between combative and non-combative, because say you have something very important to deal with, like you are cooking your dinner and your dinner is getting burnt and you really need to get it off the fire, or your house would burn down. You click on that and just simply say be right back in double brackets. Very simple. You do that with the same button right here. That is the combat non-com button. This is the help button. It just sends you to the help page. That's this button right here. And this is your profile button. Not profile settings button, which is right here. You click on it to go into your profile settings. I think the main menu. Well, we already know how this worked, right? But I will go through this once more. On to go from combative to non-combative. These are your skills, to go through the full skills, hide stats or show stats, and to call for GM. I need help, please. And here is to go to your online web profile, just to see your details, like to see what stats you have, your skills, your profile. And you can also set what skills are on the meter, because when you get to a high level, the meter can only register a few sets of skills. So you may want to kick off the low tier skills to be effective in combat, because there is no reason why a level 70 healer would be using first aid 1. Now these are your quick skills, so in case if you use a certain set of skills regularly, and you don't want to bind them to your quick skills up here, you can put them here. So this gives you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 quick skills to use effectively in combat. So you don't have to keep going from menu to offense to rat shot 9, menu to healing to 8 self 1, menu to heal to support to whatever support skill you want, resolute, whatever. I know those are not skills, but I will go into details of skills in another video. Now from here, set another set of menu buttons. This is where you set those buttons that were the 3 top buttons that were in the last menu. This again opens up the help window. It takes you to a website, and this tells you how much XP you have till you level up. This tells you the players in radius of you. I don't know what the distance is, but you would also be able to go and look up their profile to see what skills they have, what level they are, and what their stats are. And I think from the profile you can hide your stats, or yeah, you can hide your stats. So if you don't want people to know you are a level 1 noob, you can hide your stats from the profile. Although all it takes is just for them to poke you in the face and they'll know your level. So yeah. Now you know your meter. Welcome to Southgate Arena rules. Absolutely no CACS camping, no warnings, do not risk your XP, you will get docked. You have been warned. Arena is OOC at all times, please be respectful. All COLA and CCS rules apply here, so do not try lowering up. And the arena is to be used to teach, train, spar, test, and practice your CCS combat skills and weapons. Please have fun. Now, I will go to talk to you about, oh my god, this is a long video, your stats. Yeah, I'll talk about stats. I'll talk about stats. This is a generic stats issue, but yeah. I'll talk about stats. Now, stats, statistics. In your profile, and when you level up, you would have to allocate points. Every time you level up, you have a set of 5 points, and you can share them within each of these stats. All these stats are useful, and all of them are useful to certain skills more than other skills, to certain classes more than others. And likewise, inversely, some skills are not as useful to some character classes. Strength determines how hard you hit in melee combat, which means how hard you punch, and only how hard you punch. If you use a gun, it does not affect your strength stat. Okay? And as expected, fight heavy classes like the tank and the DPS tend to use the strength a lot. As for the healer and caster, they aren't heavy on the strength, but again, I'll go into that when I'm talking about the classes. Fortitude controls the bonus character's overall health. To a degree, all classes do benefit from this because it determines how much HP you have. It gives you a bonus to HP. And again, it's up to you. You could have a very high HP and have it that it's going to be hard for you to fall down, or you could have a low HP and just avoid being hit. It's up to you. Endurance controls the bonus overall stamina. This is again, all characters depend on this to a great degree, because when your stamina is 0, you do not do any damage, and you can't use skills, and every time you run, instead of stamina going, your health goes, and you'll be weakened. So yeah, again, to a degree, this is useful. And again, you could also decide to say, I'm keeping this low so I can have stats in other areas, just that I would not be a very stamina intensive type of fighter. Again, to a degree that works, and to a degree it doesn't. I'm not going to start going into details on that, because there are skills and weapons that drain stamina. Intelligence increases damage output for offensive skills, which are like caster and healer, and also DPS and tank also have offensive skills, so it gives a bonus to that, to the damage output, and as well as giving a level of a tiny bit of resistance to resistance to being affected by skills, to the damage. So it basically helps you with damage from skills, like say for example a healer's bread and butter skill, rad shots. You're given a rad shot. Intelligence determines how likely you dodge the attack. Also, if you are the healer and you did do the rad shots, it also determines how much extra damage you gave on your rad shot. I'm starting to ramble on, so I'll move on. Willpower determines an overall a character's overall chance to resist the status effect placed on them by another player. Which is like, I will talk about status effects, but say for example a weapon curses you or poisons you, willpower determines how well you evade that. So you could end up like being, say for example you're given rat shot 9. If you have a high intelligence, you evade the rat shot, the initial attack of like 1 billion, but the willpower would stop you from dying from poison. Like you'd end up losing 100 points of damage every second or something like that. Yeah, it's a complicated calculation. Like I said, I'm no pro at this. Perception controls the player's ability to dodge incoming range attacks and damage. Usually people tend to put this last because when you go into a gunfight, you would be pretty dumb to try hulking it out and running straight for the person with a gun. Generally, you avoid being shot, which means moving side to side, using your environment to your advantage. So that means if you avoid being shot, perception is not very well needed. This only affects if a bullet hits you and how much, and if it would register. And yeah, I don't know, yeah, but basically it's useless, really. It's useless. Just don't be shot. It's a lot easier to just not be shot than to put points into that, because you do not have enough points to share along all these skills. Finesse controls the player's ability to dodge incoming melee attacks. Again, this is relatively useful because it stops, you could basically avoid being hit by a punch. Now, why would I favor finesse over perception? Is mainly because perception, you have more of a fighting chance to dodge it. Finesse, you don't. And at this point, I will stop here, and I would like to thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time when I go into more details on this. Good day.